you mentioned Don Ho. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about your long career with Don. Kind of take us back. When did that start?
Goodness.
How did it start? How did that connection?
Don Ho got word of the Hawaii's, and in case you guys don't know, that the beginnings of Don Ho was actually Don Ho and the Hawaii's. You know, the Hawaii's was part of his background, musicians, yeah. So when Don Ho got wind of that, he liked that idea of Don Ho and the Hawaii's, you know. So he approached us, he approached our manager and tried to get us to do that. And we managed to work that out. So we had the Don Ho show going first, and then we had like an hour and a half, and then we had the Hawaii's show after that. So that went on 5-6 nights a week for a while, for a few years. And that's how I became part of the Don Ho. It was I got into the Hawaii's first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many total years were you?
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun, but I really enjoyed that. I missed that.
In your best Don Ho voice.
Okay.
The question is, in your best Don voice, what is one piece of advice you've gotten from Don Ho that sticks with you today?
Oh my goodness. How am I going to do that? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Something like that. Actually, that's the one thing I always remember, because when I first started with him, you know, I was still kind of a snot-nosed musician, you know, coming out of college. Think I knew everything about music and stuff. And one night after the gig, Don comes up to me, goes, "Hey Nathan, you know the problem with you." I was like, "Oh," he said, "The problem with you, the problem with you is you know too much music." That's what he said. I said, meaning I played too much. So he told me, keep it simple. And then he said, in fact, the next night, every song, I like you only play whole notes. So literally, if we're doing Tiny Bubbles, my bass was like, in the wine. And I couldn't move. That was his whole thing. And the thing about it is it stuck with me because he was so right. He was exactly right. Because what happened is that whole note that I played became like the most important note that I played at that time. You know what I mean? So I did something with it. I just didn't go, you know, I just try to make it musical in some way, you know. So the whole thing, I totally understand where he was coming from about keeping it simple, meaning not only being basic, but having the understanding that I'm not the main instrument. What is my job? My job is to make that person sound the best they can by supporting them. So that's something I never forgot that he told me. Yeah. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
We did like a rock and roll joint where they actually had a mosh pit going on for Don Ho.
Really?
Where was this? It was somewhere in the weird country side of, I don't know, Pittsburgh or something like that. He got invited to do a few songs, and was one of those well-known shock jocks at that time, which I can't remember his name. So he invited Don, went on stage, and the place is packed with guys, yeah. So Don looks at us, he goes, "I don't know how you guys are going to do it, but can you make Tiny Bubbles rock out?" Serious. I'm serious.
Wow.
So I went, okay. So Wendell Ching at that time was playing drums, yeah. So he and I just went into this heavy, I don't know, what would you call that, kind of a groove, but we went into Tiny Bubbles. And next thing you know, these guys are like just slamming each other in front of us. We're like, oh my gosh. And they're yelling at Don to stage dive. We'll catch you. We'll catch you. The promoter and our manager, road manager on the side is like, don't do it, Don, don't. And Don's like right at the edge of stage, you know. He's like, just ready. He's debating, right? And I'm like, dude, you're like in your 70s. Come on. He was so tempted to, come on, jump, don't jump. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
That's about the weirdest. Yeah.
As a mosh pit for Don Ho. I love that.
What's the Scoops? Presented by Freedom Communications with me, Red Wade. Listen live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Download the Hawaiian Music Live app on Google Play and the App Store. Or be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.